So good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Net Hope Global Summit. I am so pleased that all of you are here. My name is Lauren Woodman. I am with Net Hope, and we have a very exciting week planned for you this week, which we are going to get well underway right now. Although I recognize that many of you have been working and collaborating and networking and learning things all weekend, but the official start of our event is right now. So welcome. We're very, very glad that you're here. Before we get started with this afternoon, I have a couple of thank yous and some logistics that we need to run through. First, I want to say thank you to our venue sponsor, Dan Office IT. They have been absolutely phenomenal. They have literally helped us with everything from securing the venue to printing badges to you name it, they have figured it out. So they've just been absolutely phenomenal in helping us get this week underway. We have a really wonderful set of sponsors here this week. Many of you know folks that have been involved with NetHope for a very long time, like Microsoft and Cisco, and then Box and Salesforce. All of those folks are here this year as well, and have been incredibly generous in helping us get the summit underway. In addition, we have a number of sponsors and a number of new sponsors this year, which I'm thrilled about, many of whom are in the tech showcase next door, and you'll have plenty of opportunity this week to take a few moments and walk through there and see what they're offering, learn about those solutions, and I encourage you all to do so because all of those folks have really put a lot of thought and effort into how they can best serve our community, so I encourage you to take a step by, and thank you to all of them who are here. I also want to point out just a couple of logistics things. One thing that I learned this morning when I got called out bright and early, they would like us not to have coffee in this room. Bottled water is fine, but unless you'd like someone to come and tap you on the shoulder, like I got tapped on the shoulder this morning, stick with bottled water in here, but you're welcome to have anything out in the hallway that you wish. I do want to point out and say thank you to the Summit logistics staff. And so if all those folks could stand up, I want to point them out to you. Laura McMillan, Alex Mitchell, Alex Alpert, Lauren Bowen. Who am I missing? Robin. Is Robin in the room? Robin, she's up at the front desk. Who have I missed? Tina. Oh, how could we forget Tina? And Elizabeth. All of those folks have worked all week, actually for several months at this point in time, to make sure that everything runs smoothly. If you need anything, they have green badges on. So if you need anything, if you have questions, if the Wi-Fi code isn't working, if your badge gets misplaced or whatnot, those are the folks to check out. So let's give them all a round of applause for all of the work that they've done. And last but not least, by any stretch of the imagination, I need to say thank you to the folks that have helped us put the agenda together for this week. Eric Arnold, chair of PATH, has chaired our summit steering committee for the agenda. That is an enormous amount of work, and he has done a phenomenal job with lots and lots of input from several members. And I want to say thank you to Eric, who I saw earlier. Thank you, Eric, for all of the work that you have done. And I want to say thank you to Frederick. Where is Frederick? Frederick, who has absolutely managed all the logistics with speakers, making sure that we don't all show up and all talk about the very same thing, and made sure that everybody is ready for this week. You guys have done a tremendous amount of work. You've gotten a tremendous amount of input, and thank you very much for everything that's been done. Now, I have the opportunity later this afternoon to talk, so I'm going to get off the stage because now I've done everything that I need to do. But before I close, let me just say thank you to all of you for coming. I know it's never easy to get out of the office. I know that no one has enough hours in the day. I know it's sometimes not easy to get on a plane and travel short distances or long distances. But having everyone here and having an opportunity to spend some time together this week will be really wonderful and give us the opportunity as the NetHope community to come together, to learn together, and to find some opportunities to have real impact in the world that we seek to serve. So thank you for taking the time. All of the NetHope staff will be around for the rest of the week, of course, and we look forward to working with you and serving you and making sure that your summit is a very good one. Now with that, I'm going to turn it over to David Goodman, who all of you know, and if you don't, you will certainly by the end of the week, to walk us through a little bit of the agenda and what we've got in store for this week. David?
Right, where's Frederick? Oh, God. if Frederick gets too far, I have a geolocating thing on my phone. If Frederick gets too far away, the phone vibrates, and so we need Frederick. And I just echo Lauren's comments. I've had the pleasure of working with Frederick on the agenda for 3 years now, and it really is a pleasure. He's a Summit Agenda Ninja, I think we're calling him, and really he's just fantastic. So thank you for being such a wonderful partner. So lovely to see you all. Want to say welcome to everybody. I sometimes say this is my 15th summit. I'm not sure that's accurate because we used to have them twice a year. I'm not that old. Going back to 2008. So it's great to be here. This energy and participation is really sort of the top so far, and I hope the week will bear that out. Many of you are old friends. Some of you will be new friends. I see a few former friends. No. But maybe by the end of the week, we'll see. So anyway, thank you for coming. As Lauren said, it's an exciting week. A few items to note is that visit is there, so I don't have to read them all. A couple things to point out. Frederick and I will do a little tag team on the agenda. We'll just kind of go through so you have a flavor for what you're going to see over the course of the week. There are these member-only sessions which have been pre-assigned. Hopefully, all the folks who work in member organizations are aware of those sessions, have been contacted by the facilitator, and are prepared for that. It's an exciting opportunity. Security is a big deal to UN. If you've ever dealt with a UN agency anywhere, which every one of us have, you know that's important. So don't lose these things. Everyone knows the code. I hope that all works out very well. There's the Wi-Fi stuff once again. There is a speaker prep room for those of us who need a little bit of quiet time before we come up. We're doing something new this year for our partners, those folks here and some others, which is if you or the partner want to have a little one-on-one meeting, we've got a room reserved, and I believe it's on the agenda. There's a link that allows you to reserve the room at a certain time, so then you and that partner or vendor can sit down and have a specific conversation about your needs, their product, intersection, etc. We wanted to provide that opportunity, so that's in the agenda. You'll see that. And then tonight, of course, the reception sponsored by EMC, and then we'll get you back to your various hotels after that. That sound right? Good. So I think the next thing is the agenda. So I'm going to say a couple of words before we get to that. I'm very excited to be here, truly, and I want to share a little personal story that I think will illustrate what I mean by that. I went to a small college in western Massachusetts, in Amherst. And it's an alternative kind of a place. And when I was going there, I thought, I really have always wanted to play on a college sports team. College football clearly wasn't in my future. Basketball wasn't in my future. So I get to this college, and they had one team, one sport, and it was ultimate frisbee. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Jane. Yes. She gets an Windows Phone for life now. She doesn't need one because she works for Microsoft, but anyway. So how many of you have heard of ultimate frisbee? Yes. How many of you have played ultimate frisbee? Yes. Anyone who doesn't raise their hand, you can leave. No, I'm kidding. It's a pretty intense sport, actually. It's sort of like a combination of football, basketball, soccer, football. It's great. Anyway, so I played on this team for the 3 years I was there, and it was a fantastic experience. We were a very small school. We competed against universities, much larger schools from all over the East Coast. We didn't do particularly well, but we worked really hard and tried really hard and bonded. And when I left school after 3 years, which was earlier than most of the folks I had started with, and I reflected on my sort of exiting of college and the future and all this sort of stuff, the thing that sort of struck me and hit me the hardest was that I would never be a member of the Hampshire College Ultimate Frisbee team. I would play with these guys, I'd be friends, but I'd never be a member of that team. And that was really hard because it meant so much to me as a student and as a person. But I got through it. That was just a couple years ago, and but funnily enough, I had that same emotion not long ago as I was considering leaving the IRC. So for those of you who don't know, I was the CIO of the IRC for about 8 years. I left in May. It was just time to go. I was happy to do it. They're going to go on to wonderful things. And as I was considering leaving, the thing that gave me pause, the thing that I really said, boy, this is going to be hard, is that I would not be part of this community. Because this community is among the most satisfying and impactful collaborations I've been a part of. And as I now work on the inside of NetHope and looking out and trying to work with all of you as members and partners, the potential for this collaboration is massive. The sector is desperately in need for us to succeed. We will succeed, evidenced by the enthusiasm for this year. We're turning people away from the summit. I mean, it's fantastic. So really, when I say I'm happy to be here, it's a huge understatement because, Vincent will support that. As I was thinking about leaving, I said, how am I going to get to Copenhagen? Right? What's my strategy for finding a way, even though I won't be at the IRC, to get to Copenhagen? And thankfully, in some conversation with Lauren and others, I found this role, and I'm excited to be here. So that's my little personal story, and I hope you appreciate that. So with that said, I think we'll go to the agenda, which Frederick is going to draw. I'm not touching a computer because everyone knows what happens when I do that.
Hopefully it's really easy to get to. How about that?
Oh, it seems alien. Good. Okay. By the way, at 10 minutes to the hour, everyone with an Apple Watch will stand. Just watch. It's amazing. Okay, so this is the agenda. It's on the screen there for you. And again, you've all seen this. So a couple things to note before we go into detail. The online agenda is your friend. So you have printed agendas. They're pretty accurate. Of course, things change at the last minute. So I really want to encourage everyone. There's a nice way to get the home screen for the website on your phone. You can peruse it. You can get all the attendees and so on there. So I would strongly recommend you become friends with the online agenda. So let's go through it a little bit. I think it's easier to see there. So again, this morning we had some interesting emergency response and C&I stuff. Obviously now, we're in the welcome session. We'll hit the fast pitch, which is an opportunity for us to just spend a little time hearing from all the attendees, members, and partners. Just a 1 to 2 minute overview of what they're working on, so you get a bit of a feel for a flavor for what people are doing. We'll hear from Vincent. We'll hear from Lauren in the afternoon, and then we'll go to the welcome reception. And of course, during all this time, not that you should get up and leave now, but there are our partners and supporters are in there waiting to talk to you about their products and services, and that's exciting. During the breaks. Only during the breaks. Tomorrow morning, we'll reconvene once again nice and early, having eaten breakfast before you get here, and we'll have some opening remarks and then a couple of keynotes, and we'll actually demo a little bit of it. If you hover over for example, the first keynote, miraculously. So we'll hear from Vodafone to start, and then the second one is from Lauren. So we'll be together as a group for that, the first couple of keynotes, one more then from the Norwegian Refugee Council, which is a new member, or will be a new member. So we're going to just hear some thought leadership, some big ideas there in the morning. Lunch will be as it was today, and what we're trying to do here is to structure the lunch a little bit so that you get an opportunity to talk about things that we've heard you're interested in. So these are things you've signed up for them if you're interested in. If you haven't, you can just have a kind of a casual collaborative lunch or non-collaborative lunch if you prefer. And then we'll hear about the SDG ICT Playbook Guide, which NetHope has put out, as I'm sure you've all seen it, with tremendous input, is an understatement, from Carol Bothwell. So that's going to be an exciting opportunity to really hear about that and take those away. I don't know if we have actual physical copies, but it's a pretty cool looking book. The photo, very important. Got to be there for that. Complicated. Of course, Frederick, the master, will orchestrate all of that. Uh-oh.
I will be herding the cats tomorrow.
Yeah, there'll be serious cat herding. So we're going to do it out in the lobby, sort of around the staircase to get a flavor for that. So that should be an exciting moment. Then after the summit, after the photo, we're gonna go to our first set of breakouts. And again, you've all either selected them or will soon. And I'm not going to talk through them there, but there's some good breakouts there for you. I think there's now 2 sets of breakouts from 3:15, it looks like, all the way to 5:15. We'll do some closing remarks. Of course, this solutions exhibit will continue. And then we have these birds of a feather dinner. And again, not obligatory by any means. You can go back to your hotel room and sleep. You can go wherever you want. But these are opportunities, and again, many of you have signed up for them, and Frederick's logging out, which is good, so everything looks like it's selected. Thank you. These are opportunities, again, to get together with colleagues to talk about particular things. I see one on Skype for Business, one of my favorite topics, data-driven impact, another great one. So we've got hotels listed there. You have signed up for them or will, and so you're welcome to join those. Wednesday, again, start the same way. Now, here's really the highlight of the week, clearly, is the benchmark analysis, which I will be presenting along with my colleague Alex.
That's a shameless plug.
Well, yeah. I'm up here. I mean, I'm not going to plug. So And we're going to hear from a gentleman called Eric Walker, who was formerly the COO of PATH, if I have that right, who is now, and I don't think he's here yet. If he is, he can raise his hand. I don't see him. Who's now working with Inside NGO and doing some interesting stuff around benchmarks. So we will be talking about our benchmark, some of the benchmarking studies that we've done in the survey, and as will he. Then we're going to hear from Microsoft about some trends in technology. Always good to hear from our highly valued partner in Microsoft. Then we've got, this is where we're doing now these member-to-member sessions. So again, this is an opportunity to take, if you think about the fast pitch as a quick, light bite, the member-to-member is a full meal. There are how many of those? There are 5, 6, looks like, sessions. You've all been pre-selected. You hopefully will have been contacted by the member facilitating, and really it's an opportunity to just share with each other at a deeper level what you're working on, what strategies you've employed that have gone well, maybe what haven't gone well. It's really the kind of what, in one way, in many ways, what NetHope is all about. During that time, the non-members have other activities to do, either corporate roundtable or some another opportunity for our sector partners and prospective members to get together. Then we've got 2 rounds of these solution showcases. These are opportunities for members to share with each other specific things that they've done and accomplished. So Daniel's going to talk about, which one is that one? Digital asset management. So they've done some very interesting stuff in SOS around digital asset management. He's going to showcase that. Greg is going to talk about the, I assume that's the software they built around warehousing systems. So again, you'll see those. And the way it's going to work is there are 4 15-minute slots, and you'll get to go to 4 of them over the course of an hour. Who understood that? Yeah, exactly.
There'll be detailed instructions on Wednesday.
Yes. You'll basically get to view each one of them because they'll be in 15-minute increments. So you go to the first one, and then you pick a second one in the next 15-minute slot, and so on. It's pretty straightforward. But Frederick will be no more cat herding for that, right?
I'll herd the cats, and Kevin will do the instructions.
Okay, good. Between the 2 of them, it'll be abundantly clear. So we're doing those twice. We've got 8 of those things, and then a session on digital payments, closing remarks, and then of course the plenary dinner, which is always in many ways the highlight. We'll all get on buses and go to some very interesting venue for good food and entertainment. I don't know much about what it is, but I think it's pretty interesting.
Keep it a secret.
It's a secret, and hopefully you'll find out soon. And we'll hear from some of our supporters at the dinner. Thursday, we'll have a keynote from our good friends at Salesforce, talking about some of the things they're doing. For those of you who are Salesforce customers or considering it, they've got some interesting new changes they'll share with us, and new perspectives. So we're excited about that. Then again, we've got some breakouts. And this is an opportunity, and you see that in green. We are going to, we've again divided folks up into groups. We're going to be talking you through and getting everyone comfortable with the new NetHope strategic plan. Hopefully you've read it. It is homework. So if you haven't read it, you've got a couple days to do so. It's not that long. There won't be a test particularly, although there might be. But we do encourage everyone to familiarize themselves, because this isn't let's come up with the strategic plan. This is a more of a Q&A or a presentation on what we're doing, so we can get everyone on the same page about NetHope's future. So we're doing that twice, I believe, during which time, if you're not in one of those sessions, you've got other breakouts to go to. More breakouts in the afternoon, and then a closing keynote, if I'm not mistaken, by a gentleman named Narinder Singh, who is one of the founders of Aperio, a big Salesforce partner and a real thought leader. I think you'll enjoy his energy and his ideas there as our sort of wrap up for the week, for the early part of the week. And then some closing remarks, and then some dinners again. Friday is a day of sort of specific things. There's a Meraki training session. Those of you involved in the, Meraki and GIS sessions, and then those of you involved in the NetHope Leadership Institute CIO Challenge cohort, there's a day-long dynamic leadership workshop for you there. So that's the overview of the agenda. I hope that's somewhat helpful. I'm sure, again, you've all seen it. I want to re-encourage, is that a word? Encourage everyone to go online, make sure you've got the online agenda nicely done. So to help you there, because software can be hard, Frederick is going to just take you through some specifics on how those agendas work, the online agenda.
Well, not quite yet. Keep talking.
Keep talking. No. There it is. You got it?
Yep.
I had nothing to say.
Okay, so I'm going to spend next 2 minutes trying to explain how you get the most out of the online agenda. And if you haven't been there yet, I'll explain you how to get started and what to do. There's a couple shameless slides in here. This was the template, so everybody's supposed to introduce themselves. So you can blame me for if the agenda is screwed up, or on my day job, I do the NetHub Solutions Center also, which I hope all of you are reading on a daily basis. And also run this NetHub Leadership Institute effort, and we'll talk a little bit about that throughout the summit as well. But I'll talk a little bit about how you get started. Is that your phone?
Yes, not
no?
my phone.
Okay, that's all right. We'll walk through how to navigate around and maybe some best kept secrets around the online agenda, and then really want to make sure you share with others how they can experience the summit from home. So you see on the very bottom of every slide here, that's the URL for the online agenda, so agenda.nethubglobalsummit.org. And if you have not been there, or if you've not received an email from sked.org or notification at sked.org, then please come and see me, because we may have failed to send out an invitation. Anyone, is this totally new to anyone? One person. Okay, come see me afterwards. And then once you follow instructions there and you get all logged on, just please update your picture on your profile so everybody can learn a little bit about you, and you can all do a little bit more productive networking. Anyways, once you get all set up, you'll see this long list of topics that we just went through, and you can click through there and set up your personal schedule. You can select the breakouts you want to be part of and all that. You can actually subscribe to that, send it to your Outlook or your Google Calendar, so that all pops up in the right time, and so you won't miss anything. Obviously, this is available on your phone and on your tablet, so no excuses for running out of battery. You have access to all different devices. And do look for updates on some room changes and everything. We had to change the room this morning with the CNI and emergency response workshops. So that may happen based on some of the popularity that we see. And more importantly, keep your birds of a feather RSVPs up to date, because these dinners not going to be more than 15 people in terms of reservations at restaurants and things like that. So if you intend not to go, please unclick, and so we can have other people enjoy those particular birds of a feather dinners. David already mentioned that the member-only meetings are pre-assigned, so please look those up. Then you can browse around, you can look at your schedule, as I mentioned, you can look at all the different speakers, all the members, the prospective members, the panelists, and the various attendees, and you can reserve the resource room, as David mentioned. And on the right-hand side of the interface, or you'll find it on your mobile device, there's all kinds of filters to just dive down and find exactly what you're looking for. So if you go into the individual session details, there's just a couple of things that I want to highlight. All of the sessions will have an evaluation link. So either during or right after the sessions, please click on that, and there's a super simple evaluation form. You basically just you click number of stars, star rating on the session, and then if it's 3 or less, then I would request that you write down why. So there's a little comment field in there saying, okay, what could be done to improve that particular session. Another thing, where you see this note, there's a webcast. So if you click on that webcast link, it'll actually take you to the Solution Center where this, I want to show this. Is that okay? Let's see if we can, because this is kind of this is the coolest thing we have.
He's freestyling.
Huh?
You're freestyling now, it's good.
Yeah, I know. Where am I? Right there. Okay. Let's go back up to the session we're running right now. Welcome opening remarks. That should be broadcast. And as you see here, it says this session is available via webcast. So if everything works, this gets us to the Solution Center. And we have, okay, so we have the little broadcast down here. We'll see if we show up. There we go.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
if folks are back home and you want to tell them, hey, join the NetOps Summit from your desktop at home, please share this with them. Everybody can get on this online agenda and see these different things. They can't actually get access to the presentations that we posted and things like that. There are certain limitations, but this they can get access to. And most of the plenary sessions that we do in this room will actually be broadcast. So it looks like it's working.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and we have a magic person up here that's
Right.
he's actually producing all this. And these will also be recorded, so you'll be able to see this back home on demand. Okay, anything else?
I
No.
have two other things to mention.
Go ahead.
One is that as I was running through the agenda, I didn't specifically call out the member meeting, and we can see when it is, but you'll see it on your agenda. So there's a meeting for the membership only to talk about NetOps business. The other thing to mention is that we have not explicitly shared an attendee list with contact information. We do that because NetOps policy is we don't share contact information. That's not to say you can't make that decision on your own. So to take Frederick's example, you can put your contact information in your profile, just write it in there. And that way other people here can see you. I mean, we all know how to get in touch with each other generally between LinkedIn and other things. But you're welcome to publish your contact information. We just didn't decide not to publish it for you because that's our policy. So.
All right, so we already talked about the webcast. And just this is last slide. We keep your schedule up to date so we know we can load balance both the dinners as well as the sessions in terms of capacity. If you have additional birds of a feather suggestion for Thursday, we're open for that. So there's actually a link there that says propose one, and we'll take that into consideration and post that if you're interested. And then, again, please share that broadcast option with your colleagues at home if you think that might be interesting. And we will be doing a post-summit survey, so please provide your feedback there in addition to the online survey sessions. And with that, it remains for me to repeat what Lauren said. Thank you. Thank Eric and the entire Summit Agenda Steering Committee. There's been a fantastic group of people to work with, and you see them all there. And obviously, we worked very closely with the rest of the Summit planning team that Lauren mentioned earlier. So again, thank you very much, and these people have done a fantastic job. That's all I had.
That's all I got.